guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm on this beautiful lake in the Sawtooth National Forest here in Idaho, and it's just gorgeous, right in the middle of the mountains. This is actually, the name of this lake is actually Stanley Lake, and this is my first time here. So far I'm really liking it. Boise's been so hot this last week or so, and I'm not complaining, I like the heat. But it's been in about the 90s, which in Canadianism is the mid-30s. So it's been toasty. Coming up here, it's quite cool actually. It may be 75, it's in the 20s. And this is the perfect temperature for camping. I'm going to be here for about 2 days. I think I'm going to camp for one night. I'm on my Vibe kayak. It's a fishing kayak. I'll show you a little bit more about it later. And I'm testing out my new dry pack that I just bought from MEC. So we'll see how dry it keeps all my gear. But I'm just kind of going along the shoreline looking for a good spot to camp. Right along here is pretty steep and the bush is pretty thick. So I think I'm just going to keep looking. Set up camp maybe, might go fishing a bit later, and then make some dinner and stuff. So come along, let's go. Promise I'm on the top of the Haleakala volcano. It's the start of summer, as you can tell, but I just went for a swim. I completely fell in. Awesome. There's a nice snow fort, a nice snow castle. So I think I found the perfect spot for a camp just in this little bay here. It looks mostly flat. There's some trees to protect me from the wind because it is a little bit windy today. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. Let's go check it out. I think it could be your camp. Well, I finally found a flat spot that wasn't in the swamp. All that stuff that looked flat over there and just looked like fields, it was all swampy. So now you can see my shoes are like that. Oh well. But yeah, I think this spot's gonna work. It's in the trees, it's flat. I'm not seeing many bugs or anything. So yeah, let's set up camp. All right, it is time to set up camp, get the tent set up, get everything else all ready to rock and roll. And I'm gonna show you a little trick that I found for getting the tent and everything set up really quick. Here it is. And just like that, camp is set up. There you have it, folks. And of course the mosquitoes just decided to start coming out. So I got myself with some DEET. We are in bear country. This is prime bear country, prime time of the year for bears as well. So I went ahead and bought one of these for my food. It's a Bear Vault. The name of it is Bear Vault. That's the company. It's called a bear canister. It keeps your food so the bears can't smell it, and then so they also can't get into it. Normally I don't have to use this, but I wanted to be extra careful this time. I also brought some bear spray with me. Those are like the two main things you want to do. Also, when I'm sleeping at night, I'm not going to put this right beside my tent, obviously. I'm going to set it off 100 feet or so. That way, if they do notice it and come investigate, they won't bother me while I'm sleeping. So I think it's looking like it's getting dark out. It's not actually time for bed yet. The clouds have just rolled in, and I don't know if it will rain or not. It looks like it's a possibility, but before it does that, I'm going to go out and do some fishing. I've seen tons of fish jumping while I was on my kayak about an hour ago looking for the camp spot, and I'd like to go take advantage of that. I don't really need fish for food. I did bring pretty much everything I'm going to need to eat while I'm here, but I wouldn't mind catching a few fish just for fun. So let's head out on the lake for a bit and hopefully catch a few fish and then come back and have some dinner. So I brought with me, it's just my retractable rod. I got this for about $30, and I use it to go hiking and backpacking and stuff because it fits down to this small. And it's handy to take with you. I'm just gonna go and use the old-fashioned worm. Well, I am back from fishing, and I came back empty-handed. Not a single bite, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I did leave my line casted out, just who knows, might get a bite here or there. And looky look, I made a beer weir, and I brought a couple fancy craft beers. And I think it's almost time to have one of those. Oh, let's get back up to camp. Maybe start thinking about making some dinner. Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. Can't see the sun anymore. There's a forest fire over on that side of the hill, so it's kind of making it a little hazy, and then the clouds went in front of the sun. So I think it's about to go behind the hills soon, though. I'm guessing it's 7 or 8. So real quick, I'll just tell you about this dry pack that I told you I just bought. It's made by MEC, Mountain Equipment Co-op, which is the Canadian version of REI. The reason I didn't get any from REI, because, I'll see if you can tell here, there's an actual metal frame on the back of this one. These run along it, and none of the REI ones had that. I've noticed a couple of the other guys, Justin Barber, Joe Robinette, both have this one. And yeah, the REI ones, they were just pretty much a dry bag with the straps on it, but no support. So it would just kind of mold to your back, but not give you any support for your back. So I'm not sure what the price was. You'd have to go look online, but yeah, I ordered this from MEC, got it delivered in a week or so. And this is my first time trying it out. I got it because I I wanted to start kayak camping like I'm doing right now, and I haven't been able to because my pack would get wet. So this one I believe is about 70 liters. Fill it up, fold it a few times, and there you have it. So yeah, so far I really like it. We'll see. We'll see how it holds up. Well, boys and girls, I officially declare it to be happy hour. I do declare. I got a real good one this time. I've been saving this probably like almost 4 or 5 months now. It's been in my closet at home waiting for a good trip to go on. So this is one of my favorite breweries, again, Boise Brewing. It's a special one they made. They joined up with one of the local coffee shops in town, Iron Mule. Says brewed in collaboration with Iron Mule. So Boise Brewing, Iron Mule coffee. It's a coffee stout. The Boise Bomber series. And this is like a limited time one that only came out once. It's 7%. Doesn't really say the IBUs on it, but I think it's going to be delicious. So if you're at home right now and you're able to, I think you should probably join in, grab yourself a brewski, or if you're a young one, grab yourself a root beer. Oh, that's really dark. I know not all of you like the dark ones, but you probably know by now that I do. Cheers, guys. Yeah, that's good. You can taste the coffee. It's not overpowering. It still tastes like a stout. It's a good combination of both of them. Not very bitter. Just a tiny bit bitter. Really smooth. Yeah, a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. Nothing like an IPA or anything. Like very creamy, smooth, rich. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Probably not my very favorite stout, but it's up there. These guys, the mosquitoes are just starting to pick up and they're going crazy. I brought along my little travel size DEET spray. It's only 40% now. I know some guys are using those like really strong ones, like the 90%. This, it seems like they're not even, like I sprayed it quite a bit on myself and it doesn't seem like they're really noticing it. They're still, I haven't caught them biting me yet, but they're just swarming me. Gotta love the skeeters. It's actually pretty late. It's past 8:30 already. So I guess it will be getting dark in the next hour or so. Probably start cooking some dinner up. Like I mentioned before, there's a forest fire over there, and there is a fire ban right now. So unfortunately, I know one of the best parts of camping is a campfire, but not this time. Sorry, guys. I did bring my little solo stove as well as my little gas stove as well, so I'll cook dinner on one of those. I haven't decided yet. It's a nice night. It is a little cloudy. I got sprinkled on a couple times when I was out on the lake, but I think it's going to be a decent overnight. It's cooling down a bit. Not too much, so the wind died down, so that helped. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my beer, and then I think we're going to cook some dinner. So I don't know if you craft beer drinkers out there notice this or not, but a lot of the bigger names have tried to kind of mimic the craft breweries, or sometimes they'll buy craft breweries out that are doing really well and try to take over and continue them on. And they'll trick you into thinking they're still craft beers when they're not. So something kind of cool that they've done now is all these true craft breweries have teamed up, and now on their logo you'll see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a little mark. It says Independent Craft Brewers Association Certified. So that's how you know, if you're wondering when you're at the grocery store or the beer store or wherever, if you're actually getting a craft beer, that's the way now that you can know. And it's not like one, like I know in Vancouver, Granville Island Brewery, that used to be a cool local Vancouver craft brewery, and it got bought out by one of the bigger ones, but they don't want you to know that, so they keep marketing it like it is a craft beer, but it's not. It's made by one of the bigger ones, and you won't find one of those marks on them. So that's just a little tip I just heard about. If you're wanting to support the local breweries and not just be giving money to the big guys that will have that independent craft. It's like an upside down beer bottle logo. So for dinner tonight, we have a fancy pasta parmigiano. Fettuccine pasta in a Parmesan cheese flavored sauce. I think these are normally called sidekicks, but that might have changed, I'm not sure. And with it, some salmon. Since it's so hot right now, like during the winter I just bring fresh meat, and then the cold and the snow keeps it good, but when it's hot like this out, I usually bring like tuna or salmon or stuff like that doesn't go bad. But I mainly brought the salmon because, like I mentioned, we're in bear country and salmon's bear's favorite food. So I just was hoping that they would smell the salmon and, come on down, come hang out with me. No, I'm just joking. I don't really want that, actually. It might be interesting for a while, but I don't want to get eaten by bears tonight. So, like I said, I'm gonna put all my food, all the food smells, and just put it way over there. But yeah, I think this should be decent. This is called the best salmon, chicken of the sea. How can chicken of the sea not be good? Well, I did add a little bit too much fluid, but it boiled off. And dinner is served. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's actually some loons in the distance. Not bad. I won't make you watch me eat the rest, but I will see you for the second beer in a bit. Well, boys and girls, I have brought the treat of all treats. It's actually started to drizzle or rain a little bit, so we'll see if that picks up or not. Well, I've moved inside because it's pretty much pitch black out there now, and the rain has actually picked up. I don't know if you can hear it or not. But I should probably go to bed soon anyway. I had my dinner was pretty good. The s'more was good. Now I have my second and final beer of the evening. This is one I've had before that I really like. It's the High Five Hefe. And as you know, I like wheat ales. This one is actually made from one of my favorite breweries in Washington. And most of you know, well, it's a pretty popular one. It's called Irish Death. And the brewery's Iron Horse Brewery. Well, they also make this one, High Five Hefe, but their most famous one is Irish Death. And I forget what that is, if it's a dark beer of some sort, but it's in a lot of the bars and stuff in the Pacific Northwest. And they've done really well. They've made a really big name for themselves. And oh, look, what would you know? Independent. So this one is Hefeweizen made with ginger and honey. Go high five yourself, you deserve it. That's not me saying it, that's them. It is 6%, brewed and bottled by Iron Horse Brewery, Ellensburg, Washington. So that's kind of a couple hours from Seattle, east of Seattle. And it says no fruit required, because most wheat ales usually put like a lemon. If it's a hef or a wheat ale, they'll put an orange in it, but that's funny. No fruit required. In fact, please spare our beer the embarrassment. You'll get made fun of sometimes if you have a piece of fruit in your drink, although I never really care. Let's give her a go. Although I know it's good, I've had it before. Let us try this. Once again, cheers, guys. That's good. Like I said, one of my favorites. It's a go-to. It's smooth. You actually kind of do taste a bit of that honey. No real big fruit notes in it. If you like any of those, like Blue Moon, Shock Tops, those kind of ones, you would like this. It's good. And it's craft beer. The High Five Hefe. Well, guys, I'm going to finish my beer. I'm probably going to try to go to sleep in the next little bit. It is, I'll tell you what time it is. It's 10:20. So if I can get into bed by like 11 or so, that wouldn't be too bad. And unless anything crazy happens in the night, I will see you on the morrow.
I'm from the east side of America, where we choose pride over character. And we pick sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. I live on the west side of America, where they spin lies into fairy dust. And we pick sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. And don't believe the narcissism when everyone projects and expects you to listen to them. Make no mistake, I live in a prison that I built myself, it is my religion. And they say that I am a sick boy, easy to say when they don't take the risk, boy. Welcome to the narcissism, we're united under our indifference. And I'm from the east side of America, where the distance to the times like hysteria. And we have picked sides, but this is us, this is us, this is. I live on the west side of America.
Hey guys, good morning. Just making up my tea here. Like I said, I used the Solo stove, which is this guy. There's a bunch of different types of twig stoves. I believe this Solo stove company actually ripped off a design. I think it's called the Bush Buddy. But yeah, I like the idea that you can just use nature to make a fire and you don't have to be using gas. It does take a bit longer. I'd say that took maybe 10 minutes or so to boil, where the other guy would have been, where my little gas stove would have been maybe 5 minutes. But it's kind of cool if you have the time. I slept pretty good. It's almost 9 o'clock now. I think I probably slept till 8:30 or so. It was warm last night. I wasn't cold at all. And today it's not, so far it's a pretty overcast day. It's not the nicest, but maybe good fishing weather. I think I'm going to have my tea, maybe have a Cliff Bar or something, then take another lap around the lake here to get a couple flicks of the rod, see if I can catch anything today. There's a couple boats out there right now, actually. I saw a canoe go by. I believe there's a campground on the exactly the opposite side of where I'm at, so I think I saw a few people over there last night. But I don't hear anyone, and I didn't hear anyone. I heard throughout the night a couple birds and stuff. I didn't get eaten by bears, so I guess I'll have to try harder with the salmon next time. Maybe I'll get like a real fresh piece of salmon and just leave it outside my tent and see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna drink my tea and let's go out and try fishing again, see if we can get anything. Well, I just tried to reel my line in that I left out overnight, and I think it actually might have something. It might just be a little guy on it, but it was way over by the shore, and I'm seeing something flopping around over there. Oh, It's a super tiny guy. Don't say I didn't come out empty-handed. This is it, guys. There he goes. I've seen quite a few fish jumping, so I'm just gonna troll along the shore here. And the sun actually came out a little bit. The warmth feels really nice. I have the whole lake to myself now. It's completely still, not a single person or boat on the lake except us. Man, this is awesome. Yeah, fish are jumping left and right. I think this is a good time to be out. I don't see huge ones jumping, but I'm not trying to catch it for food anyway. I got a bite, guys. It's anything big though. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's not bad. That is not bad. There we go. Little rainbow. Obviously, I'm not gonna keep this. Alright guys, I just let that rainbow go and now it just started to pour on me. So I'm trying to hurry back and get back to the tent and get some shelter. So let's head over there. It's been raining off and on for the last couple hours. Got a bit of a stormy day today. When I was on the water, it started out really smooth and then it got pretty choppy. So I decided I would pack up. So this is where my tent was. Packed up all my garbage, leave no trace. And yeah, I think I'm probably gonna paddle on back in a few minutes here. Shout out to my boy Hazy. I'm repping your logo today. I know you're watching this, so cheers, mate. Anyway, I'm gonna load up my pack on my kayak. That, by the way, that dry pack works really well, so I highly recommend it if you're in the market for something like that. MEC. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna hop on, load up my pack on the kayak, paddle back to my car. Well guys, thanks for joining me on my first paddle of the season and my very first time kayak camping. That was a blast. I'm definitely going to do this again. I hope that you join me on my next outdoor adventure. I'm going to head back to the car now. But if you like this video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these outdoor adventures. And as always, I love your comments, so please give me a comment. I promise to respond to you, probably the same day. I check those a lot. So, until next time, toodaloo.